Hello students, good afternoon. I'm Ankita. Today I'm going to start with an overview of the play Chandalika from Kaleidoscope, one of the Indian play or drama which you have in your syllabus by Rabindranath Tagore. So, not wasting much more time, let's just get started. It is important to know about the writer of the play. So, Rabindranath Tagore was a poet, novelist, short story writer, and a dramatist. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. Tagore's interest in drama was fostered while he was too young. He enjoyed writing and staging plays. The music in his plays is instrumental in bringing out the delicate display of emotion around an idea. The central interest in his plays is the unfolding of character, of the opening up of soul to the enlightenment of some kind. So what does it mean? That he usually unfolds the characters. Okay, means a character का internal माइंड मेक साइकोलॉजिकली उस कैरेक्टर को जज करते हैं और उसके माइंड में क्या चल रहा है वो ऑडियंस को बताने का वो पूरा कोशिश करते हैं रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर अपने प्लेस में अक्सर। और उनके प्लेस में एक म्यूज़िक पाया जाता है कि इंस्ट्रूमेंटल म्यूज़िक पाया जाता है जो कि एक बैकग्राउंड प्ले का बैकग्राउंड म्यूज़िक का काम करता है। ऑलराइट, एंड दैट ब्रिंग्स आउट a kind of delicacy in the play. Alright, so coming to the overview of the play, this is a short drama, as we will just come to know that it is a very short drama. Is based on a following Buddhist legend, Ananda, the famous disciple of the Buddha. Disciple means the student, you can say. Okay, was one day returning from a visit when he felt thirsty and, approaching a well on the way, asked for water from a Chandalika, a girl belonging to the lowest untouchable caste. So, this drama is basically a short drama and is on a Buddhist legend. His name is Ananda. Means what? Ananda is a protagonist of the play, means the main character of the play, and he is a famous disciple of Lord Buddha. Okay, disciple means a student or a follower. So one day he was very thirsty and he was approaching a well on the way, and he found a girl who belonged from a very low caste. Okay, low caste, and she was a kind of untouchable. Okay, in the Indian society we can refer as an untouchable. So this drama is having a crude plot, okay, of the popular tale showing how the psychic power of the Buddha saves his devotee from the lust of a Chandal girl, has been transformed by the writer into a psychological drama of intense spiritual conflict. So this drama is dealing with some spiritual element in it. Okay, the renunciation, the love, the spiritual love, okay, the redemption, right? Alright, so this kind of things, this kind of spirituality we can see in this drama. When I will be explaining the drama in detail, I will just let you know and explain you each and every part of it. So in this overview, maybe there may be some words or there may be some things which only clear to you, but gradually when I will just make you the things understand, you will just come to know. Okay, so in this drama that Chandal girl, whose name is Prakriti, okay, just fell in love with the protagonist Ananda. Okay, here there are two major characters, and Ananda, who is a disciple of Buddha, and one is the untouchable lower caste girl, whose name is Prakriti. Alright, so when he just approached the well, and she was near the well, okay, she suddenly, after the kind of a conversation they had, Prakriti fell in love with Ananda. Okay, so this is basically a drama which is containing a spiritual element in it, and this drama is also known as a psychological drama as well as it is a tragedy, because it gives us a it showcases the mind of both the mind. It showcases the two minds means what? It showcases the mind of Ananda as well as it also showcases the conflict going on in the mind of Prakriti. Alright. So, it is not the story of the wicked girl roused to lust by physical beauty of the monk, as the monk was very beautiful. Monk means the disciple of the Buddha, as he was very beautiful. It is not a story of lust. Okay. Though somebody refers it being as a lust, okay, though the author or the writer has always told us, he always just gave us a detailed description that it's a kind of a spiritual love, not a lust. Alright, so the beauty of the monk just impressed the girl, impressed Prakriti, but of a very sensitive girl condemned by her birth to a lower caste, as she was belonging to a lower caste. Okay, she was untouchable and she didn't have that right to fall in love with somebody who is belonging from a upper caste, who is suddenly awakened to a consciousness of her full rights as a woman by the humanity of a follower of the Buddha. Okay, so she was having a kind of attraction, you may say, or liking, or kind of she was admiring him. Okay, and gradually she fall in love with that monk. Okay, and that consciousness, the mind was showcased by the dramatist, by the writer, and the writer or the dramatist told us that how gradually she was falling in love with that monk. Alright, so the it is a kind of as it is a kind of a psychological novel, it also talks about the consciousness of the both the minds of the two minds, and especially the consciousness of the mind of Prakriti, of her full rights as a woman by the humanity of a follower of the Buddha. As he was follower of Buddha, he was very pure by heart. Who? The means I'm just talking about Ananda. Okay. Who accepts water from her hand and teaches her to judge herself not by the artificial values that society attaches to the incident of birth, but by her capacity for love and service. So, when Ananda accepts water from her hands, as she was belonging to a lower caste, as she was basically untouchable, so he just teaches, Ananda just teaches her that though there is a division in our society, that we are having an upper class and a lower caste, and upper caste is each and every time dominating the lower caste people. Okay, the lower caste has always been suppressed. Okay, that Ananda just teaches her that she is not different from anyone else. Okay, she's like everyone, and she is seen as a person, and she can do anything she wants as any other people can do. Alright, so he just teaches her, Ananda just teaches her the artificial values that the society is having, and he just told her that you just don't get attached to this artificial values of this society, and which is very predominant in our Indian culture or in our Indian society. So this artificial values that society attaches to the incidence of birth, but by her capacity for love and service. So he is just telling, Ananda is just telling Prakriti that this artificial values is been attached to each and every people in this society, and each and every people has inherited this values from his birth, right? So we just have to ignore this artificial values, and we have to just focus on the human values. Okay, humanity. All right, and we just have to understand the power of love and service. This is a great revelation for her, which she calls a new birth, for she is washed clean of her self degradation and rises up a full human being with her right to love and to give. So she thinks that she is having a new birth, as Ananda has accepted water from her hands, and he taught her some good lessons about the artificial values and the pure human soul. Alright, so she is having a kind of a new birth, and she was just very much impressed by that beautiful monk. And since her own self is the most she can give, and since none is more worthy of the gift of her surrender than the Bhikshu who has redeemed, or as she puts it, created her, she yearns to offer herself to him. So the teachings he was telling her, okay, Ananda, the teachings of Ananda or the teachings of Buddha, Ananda was telling her, yeah, Ananda was reciting her, more and more she was getting attached to Ananda. Okay, since she, and finally she was in her position that she was yearning for him. Okay, yearning for him means she wanted him desperately. Alright, so that by the teaching, but Ananda, detached from all the earthly cares and immersed in her inner self, knows nothing of all this and passes by without recognizing her. So when she was just feeling that she was getting attached to Ananda, okay, her consciousness was working, and she was in a state that she can give her self to Ananda at that particular time. Yeah, herself, her inner self to Ananda, she can devote herself to Ananda at that particular time. Ananda did not felt the same thing, and he just gave his teaching, and he just moved away. Okay, moved away from there. Chandalika, this drama is basically a tragedy, we can say, because there are many sad things happening in the entire drama. Okay, as we will just go in the details, we will come to know that there are many sad things that are happening in the drama, and that is why this drama has been referred to as a tragedy. So it is a tragedy of self-consciousness overreaching its limit. Self-consciousness, why it is self-consciousness? Because gradually Prakriti is realizing that she is feeling in love with Ananda, and at a moment when she just forced her mother to do a black magic on Ananda, so because why she told her mother to with the spell to make a spell, because she wanted him desperately. At that moment she wanted him desperately. Gradually and gradually her love turned into a kind of a lust. Okay, as the some author as the author is telling, or some people used to say that this is not a kind of a spiritual love. We can refer to it as a kind of a lust. Okay, when she just told her mother to cast a spell on Ananda, that time each and every people, each and every audience realized that it is not a spiritual love, it is a kind of a lust. Okay, and in the entire play we can see that Prakriti is just continuously in a kind of a transformation. She is transformation that is very helpful for her, and at the end she realized a lot. Okay, and that is why the dramatist or the writer is referring to as a self consciousness, कि धीरे धीरे जैसे वो अपने ही कर्मों से सीखती है, अपने ही जो वो काम करती है, the work she is doing and the failure, okay, she is facing, वो अपने जो failures face करती है, कि क्या वो गलती की है अपने लाइफ में, उससे सीखती है. ओके, सेल्फ कॉन्शियसनेस, उसको सेल्फ एक रियलाइजेशन होता है कि वो क्या क्या गलती अपने लाइफ में कर रही है. आनंद आज सोच क्यों कर रही है, बिकॉज उसको कहीं ना कहीं वो उसको आनंद जो होते हैं उसको अटैच हो गई थी आनंद से, एंड दैट इज़ वाई शी वॉज डूइंग मैनी रॉन्ग थिंग्स. ओके, द ओनली पर्पज वॉज टू गेट हिम. ओके, so self-consciousness upon a point is necessary towards self-development, for without an awareness of the dignity of one's own role or function, one cannot give one best to this world. Obviously we have to be each and every one must have a self-consciousness or self-realization. अगर हम लोग खुद से समझेंगे ही नहीं अपने आप को, तो आगे जाके वो दिक्कत हो जाती है. So the same thing happens with Prakriti, that she realized many things but later on. Okay, बहुत ही चीज़ वो समझ, बहुत सारे चीज़ है जो वो समझ पाती है, लेकिन बहुत देर से समझ पाती है वो. Okay, so self realization or self consciousness is very much needed in self development. Alright, so without rights there can be no obligation, and service virtue when forced become marks of slavery. Though each and every person or human being is having a right, then also we have our own limit. Okay, we have to maintain a limit. हमारे पास right है, each and every human being is having a right, but then also we have to maintain our own limit. Alright, the good mother who so unwillingly worked the spell to please her daughter, and who so willingly revoked it to save Ananda, dies in the process. Okay, so usually Prakriti's mother knew a witchcraft. Okay, she cast a spell on Ananda so that her daughter can live with him forever. Okay, but when this did not happen, okay, she just rebuked or revolted against the spell, and in that process she died. Okay, she just died, and this is a sad ending of the play, and that is why it is referred to as a tragedy. The daughter, though chastened and made wise by suffering, has paid a heavy price, for wisdom is not happiness and renunciation is not fulfillment. And the daughter also paid a heavy price, because when just Ananda just realized that it is a kind of lust Prakriti is having. Okay, and at that moment, gradually, when the things didn't work well, then Prakriti realized that it was her fault, and she just asked to forgive her. She just asked Ananda to forgive her. Okay, So vanity and pride get the upper hand, and he who clings to his right very often trespasses on those of others. Yeah, obviously, when the people are in the upper hand, when the people are from the upper class, or when the people have a kind of a supreme power, they usually dominate other people. Okay, you all know it very well. They usually, each and every people want to dominate some other people. All right. So when people is having a power, they want to just dominate other people. Likewise, Prakriti's mother was very good at witchcraft, so she wanted to dominate Ananda so that her daughter can be happy forever. Okay, this is what happened to the heroine or the main character of the play. Prakriti, in her eagerness to give, forgot that Ananda need not take. Her devotion grew so passionate that she could not make her surrender without her first possessing. Obviously, she just wanted, if she wanted to surrender to Ananda, that was different. Okay, but she was very lustful. Okay, and she just gave a name kind of a spiritual love, though it was not a spiritual love, but she just declared that she was in love with Ananda, she was in love with that beautiful monk, and she just declared that she was in love with the disciple of the Buddha. But actually, each and every people knew it very well that it was a kind of a lust that Prakriti was having. Okay, so yet it was inevitable that it should be so, for a new consciousness, after ages of suppression, is overpowering, and one learns restraint only after suffering. Hence, it is the tragedy. Okay, obviously, हम लोग को जब एक चीज़ का लिमिट नहीं पता होता है, हम लोग बहुत हद तक जाते हैं. Alright, each and every person. Okay, though he or she may belong from a lower caste or upper class, it never matters. बट हम लोग को जब अपने हदें नहीं पता होता, हमें लिमिट नहीं पता होता, तो हम लोग बहुत आगे तक जाते हैं. दो वी आर हैविंग द राइट्स, बट वी आर नॉट हैविंग दैट राइट टू गो बियॉन्ड आवर लिमिट. ओके, हम लोग को अपना खुद का लिमिट पता होना चाहिए. वी आर नॉट सपोज टू गो बियॉन्ड आवर लिमिट, और हम लोग को अपने लिमिट के बियॉन्ड नहीं जाना है. और उसके साथ साथ ये भी है, उसका भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि हमारे वजह से कोई सप्रेस नहीं हो रही हो, हमारे वजह से कोई डोमिनेट नहीं हो रहे हो, वो भी हम लोग को देखना चाहिए. चाहे वो मेंटली हो, चाहे वो फिजिकली हो, चाहे वो स्पिरिचुअली हो. ठीक है. तो प्रकृति की जो मदर थी वो आनंद को डोमिनेट करना चाहती थी मेंटली. ओके, और प्रकृति जो थी वो आनंद को डोमिनेट करना चाहते थे मेंटली एज वेल एज फिजिकली. ओके, so it was a kind of suppression over Ananda. So it didn't work well, because as he was having a pure heart and pure soul, he just escaped from that trap. Ananda just escaped from that trap. Okay, so this is the overview of the drama, and that's all for today. In the next virtual class, I'm going to start the act 1 of this drama. Though the act is too long, you can just have a look in your book. Okay, the act 1 is too long. I think most probably 9 to 10 pages, so it will take time. Okay, and I will be going in detail, so don't worry, it will take time, and I will be explaining you each and every part. So we'll meet you soon with the detailed explanation of the play Chandalika. Till then, just go through the detailed lecture, and stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for the latest updates. Goodbye, take care, and stay safe.